The students who you see here today have asked themselves this question: how has my heart been educated in school? We will be sharing a few of these stories with you today. The first story is by Hanna Bryant. It is a story about the importance of culture and language. Hannah's will be told through a story, so please, if you take a look at the screen again, Your Holiness, this is Hannah's story.
Growing up, I lived in a very culturally rich environment. I grew up on Haida Gwaii, so culture was a very central aspect of the community, and it was implemented not only within the community but in the school system. I spent my elementary school years in Haida Gwaii learning the Haida language and the Haida culture, as well as the traditional curriculum. And so I got to learn about culture not only in the community, but also within the school. And it impacted my life in a big way. I've always known that the importance of culture and the significance of culture. And so learning about culture and language has always played a large role in my life. When I was 11 years old, we moved from Haida Gwaii to Prince Rupert. So I'm moving from a small, tight-knit community, which is very culturally rich, to another small community that isn't as culturally rich and isn't as tight-knit for me. So as an 11-year-old girl, moving away from everything that I've ever known to a different community with different teachers and different people. It was tough making the adjustment from being so immersed in culture to being not. And trying to find a place to fit in again, that was really hard. Things got better once I was able to start learning my traditional language of Samayak, which is the language of the Tsimshian people, formally in the school system. I've been learning since I was little. My great-grandfather was very keen on teaching me, and so being able to learn it in the school system played a huge part in finding somewhere to, finding a place of belonging. I felt like once I was able to learn the language in my school, that I was able to connect with more people, with the other students learning, as well as the teachers who were teaching. My relationship with the teachers who taught me Samaya was a really good one. They were not only teachers, but they were mentors to me. They really helped me in every aspect of my life, whereas other teachers teach to educate your mind and leave it at that. Well, my Samaya teachers went above and beyond, and they weren't okay with just educating minds. They really felt they needed to touch hearts of students, and that's what they did. They touched my heart and in a huge way, and they've impacted my life in a huge way, and I'm so thankful for that.
If the light, some cause that should too hot. So that also act of compassion.
Your Holiness, I am First Nations. I am from the Tsimshian Nation and the village of Lac-Lamps. My question for you, Your Holiness, is what is the importance of learning culture and language within the school system in terms of educating our hearts?
Now that, I think, difficult question for me, difficult question. The culture, different community. Sometimes the culture, the nature of culture itself make differences. So some community, some sort of culture. I mean, because of the, again, you see, due to environment, different way of life. Through that way, different culture develop. So, what kind of culture? That also, I think, some point, relevance. Then language, of course, here, perhaps I think, because of the, my view, maybe say a little bit sort of because of the disagreeable with you, I think. Sometimes I feel on this planet, 7 billion human beings, I think so many different language. And firstly, these major language, English, Hindi, Chinese, Japanese, or these, I think too many language, or Spanish, Italian, so I think waste of time. So eventually, I always think humanity. I myself used to come here. Mainly, I'm a human being. Meeting with you, human being. We have different culture, different races, different country. But basically, I think oneness of humanity on the level of a human being, we are saying. Emphasis Canadian, of course, I'm honorary citizen of Canada. So a little closer. So you see the different nation. So therefore, and whether we like it or not, future of humanity, we have to think about oneness of entire sentence, entire human being. Then real world peace come. Real happy humanity can develop. Too much emphasis, my nation, my religion, my race, is in a way the source of division. If I come here, I'm Buddhist, too much emphasis, I'm Buddhist, then that automatically distance from you. Barrier. Then I often used to telling people, if I consider I'm His Holiness Dalai Lama, foolish. Then I feel I'm something special. I cannot because interact easily. No use. Result, I myself create my own prison. I am Dalai Lama. On this planet, one Dalai Lama. So I am just a single person in the prison of Dalai Lama institution. What use? Think more on the fundamental level. I am a human being. There are no differences, no problem, no barrier. When I meet Westerners, or Northerners, or Southerners, or Asians, no differences. I really feel that's we really need. Warm-heartedness, education about heart, very much related with sense of oneness of humanity. Our compassion, not our family member, not our own community, but entire 7 billion human beings. Other people also, you see, feel hot, isn't it? So I think air condition, I think a little bit sort of cooler may be better. That's everybody's interest, not only me. 근데 살아왔던 것도 봐. 그래.
Is there heating going on? I mean, is there heating?
So that's my view. And also, you see, under present circumstances, each community's your own culture. It's really worthwhile to preserve. We also, you see, carrying our effort for preservation of Tibetan culture, Tibetan language. It's helpful in order to develop, fully your own community. So we also human beings. We also have the right. So you are feeling importance of your own language, your own culture. It's really worthwhile. It's good. But long run, I think we really need a sense of oneness of humanity. Like that. So for the time being, I fully committed preservation of Tibetan culture or Tibetan language. Eventually, perhaps next century, 22nd century, maybe one language, world language. And then I have no sort of regret. We will join. Forget Tibetan language. Okay, no problem. Then also, I think time comes, your language, then not much importance. Yes, next question.
Thank you, Your Holiness.